lesson with an understanding of how to actually decode a directed writing question. But last week we understood directed writing in its entirety. We understood what is the difference between directed writing and composition writing, which is literally the basis of our entire paper 2. पेपर 2 में दो सेक्शंस होते हैं. There's section A, there's section B. Section A is a 25 marker, section B is also a 25 marker. Section A is a directed writing task, section B is a composition writing task. Composition writing is what you commonly call descriptive or narrative essays, right? And I know this for a fact that a majority of you are more comfortable writing narratives as opposed to descriptives. However, in these lessons, we've already gone through both genres. For the convenience of the new students who have joined in, I will be discussing all those again in terms of a revision class. All right? So we're all on the same page. Number one. Number two, because we have been discussing directed writing, we understood that directed writing is mainly done in terms of facts. It is done to inform, to persuade, or to educate the reader on a certain something. The idea is not to entertain in any capacity at all. ये बात माइंड से निकाल दें. I have understood so far that you guys would tell me कि मिस डायरेक्टेड राइटिंग वो होती है जिसमें पैसेजेस आते हैं और कॉम्पोजिशन राइटिंग वो होती है जिसमें टॉपिक्स आते हैं. But that is not the difference between the two, बच्चों. That's just how you're supposed to tackle the questions, okay? The difference is simple. Directed writing aims to inform, to persuade or to educate. इसका एजेंडा होता है कुछ सिखाना, कुछ बताना, किसी चीज के बारे में एजुकेट करना. Whereas when it comes to composition writing, the agenda is to entertain. Do we follow so far? जब हमें ये समझ में आ जाता है, we understand at least what the difference is between the two and now how we are supposed to tackle it. So मुझे ये लगता है as a teacher as well and as a former student of O-levels as well कि number one, we need to understand the difference between directed writing versus composition writing. Number one, ठीक है. Number two, we need to have a solid understanding of discursive. These are the categories of writing basically: discursive, argumentative, and persuasive. These are the three categories or genres or ways of writing that you would need to tackle. Number three, you have to have a very good idea about the forms of writing that you will be asked to work on. So you could get an article, you could get a report, you could get a speech, you could get an email, or you could get a letter, right? And at number 4, we have register of writing, understanding audience. Register means whether our writing is supposed to be formal, informal, or semi-formal, right? So, are we all on the same page when it comes to all this? Do we all understand this at least? Is everyone on the same page with me here? Okay. So 4 things we understand here. 4 things. हमें ये 4 चीजें समझ में आ जाएंगी. I am telling you this as a guarantee that you will be able to execute the task of writing when it comes to directed writing flawlessly. All right. हमें ये समझ आ जाना चाहिए कि directed versus composition का मतलब क्या होता है. What's the difference? What do we mean by discursive, argumentative, and persuasive? And what kind of categories will we be expected to work on? Okay, you don't understand that, Abdullah. Okay, fine. We will discuss this again, okay? Then what 5 forms of writing are there and how do we actually tackle those? Article, report, speech, email, and letter. And lastly, what is the register of our writing? Register of writing depends on our audience. For example, if I'm writing to a friend, automatically I'm going to switch to the informal way of writing. Isme, as I was telling students before this week, there's a complete list of rules to follow. Walaikum assalam, Aisha, how are you, beta? I hope good. Okay, you can just continue with us. Chalo, moving on then. So ये 4 चीजें, alhamdulillah beta, I'm good. Thank you for asking, Aisha. Acha, so now that we have understood these 4 things, we will now understand how to decode our questions, which is something silly that I have come up with. बिल्कुल stupid सी एक चीज है, but I've made an abbreviation. Hold on, let me just erase all of this. So I'll call this FAPT. FAPT basically will tell you how to decode the task, how to go about the task, how to understand the task, and how to actually then execute writing on it. So before you read a single line of the source texts, read the task twice and mark it up. Candidates who begin with the passages, they tend to write about the topic. Candidates who begin with the task write about what was asked. अच्छा ये देखो, this goes without saying बच्चों, जितनी बेहतर हम क्वेश्चन को समझते हैं उतना ही अच्छा हमारा आंसर होता है. If you had been going to school before you probably turned into a private candidate, either one of you, आपको शायद याद हो that your teachers might tell you कि बेटा read the questions first and then read the comprehension passage. Was this used to be the case with any one of you? At whatever point in your lives? Yes, perhaps, right? They would tell you कि अच्छा, every teacher who understands this would tell you this कि बेटा read the questions first and then read the passage, because then you will understand the passage in terms of the questions. Because देखो मुझे बताओ, easy सा सवाल है, what are you getting marks for? हमें किस चीज के मार्क्स मिलते हैं? अगर एक कॉम्प्रिहेंशन होता है उसमें मार्क्स किस चीज के होते हैं? आंसरिंग द क्वेश्चंस, राइट? जो क्वेश्चन होता है मार्क्स उसके होते हैं ना, जो भी सवाल है उसका जवाब है उसके मार्क्स हैं. Isn't that the case? So technically speaking, we are reading to understand the questions given. In this case, we are not doing anything differently either. Understand the task and that's half of your headache gone. All right? So far so good. Is everyone following? Particularly my new kids? Sarosh, Zara, Abdullah, each one of you? Chalo. All right, let's move on then. So what is FAPT exactly? Form, audience, purpose, tone. ये चीजें पहले भी हमने डिस्कस की हैं, but I think it will just make it easy for you guys to actually remember this. Form is simple. What am I writing? ये मैं बार बार बता रही हूँ. इसको बहुत बड़े या टीचर्स आपको कहेंगे ये genre है, category of writing है, blah blah blah. But according to Cambridge, we simply understand it to be a form. So, for example, how many forms do we have? As O-level students, how many forms do you tackle of directed writing? Come on, bachcho, you should be able to answer right away when I ask you guys this. Come on, everyone. Come on, guys. How many forms do we tackle? I'm sure you guys, yes, 5. Very good, excellent. So we tackle 5 forms. No, not 3, Zuna, 5. Jo 3 aap, I think, are you confusing between discursive, persuasive and argumentative? Is that what you're saying? Those are ways of writing, Zuna, okay? Forms are report, article, speech, letter, email. Alright? These are the 5 forms of writing. So if anyone asks you about forms in directed writing, this is what you will tell them, okay? So it fixes the conventions and the shape. A report needs headings and recommendations. An article needs a headline and an engaging opening. So we will be tackling all of these. Have you covered all the forms of directed writing individually? No, we will be starting with those now, Zara. Eventually now, beta. This class and the next one, tomorrow's, okay? That's the agenda of this week. That's the only topic we are now left with for paper 1 and 2 combined, okay? So you're in good time. Anyway, so audience, पढ़ कौन रहा है? Again, I ask you guys. You're writing for the school magazine. You're writing an article for the school magazine. Who is your audience? I need an answer. Yes, we will be having mocks, Abdullah. We'll be doing that better. Ji, sab bataye mujhe. I want all of you to be on your keyboards. If I'm writing for the school magazine, it's a magazine article. Who am I writing for? Who is my audience? I need an answer from each and every one of you. Okay? Yes, that's right. If it's the school magazine, and we've all have had school magazines at certain points in our lives, maybe junior school and so on, तो magazine बच्चों को मिलता है. जो भी आप article लिखोगे, poems लिखोगे, stories लिखोगे, they will generally be read by your own class fellows, schoolmates, your own peers, right? Let's suppose I'm writing an article for Let's suppose I'm writing an article on junk food eating for the grandparents of my society. Senior citizens, right? That's my audience. So audience beta defines the register of your writing. So it fixes how much they already know, what they care about, and how formal you must be. Governors want cost and feasibility. Students want relevance to them. But they don't eat junk food. Who knows, Aisha? You'd be surprised to know. So I had a neighbor, and there was a granny there, and she was almost in her 90s. She would eat McDonald's ke burgers right beside us, just as we would. So, yep, you have no idea. And all the grannies living now, mashallah, if they're 80 plus or 90 plus, may Allah give them strength, and may Allah make it a good life for them. But they are far more healthy than we are at this point. So, yep, definitely. Anyway, moving on then. So, why not Hasnain? They should be able to live happily with their loved ones. Why not? If they have loved ones, obviously. Would you rather say that they should not live? Hasnain, बहुत बड़ी controversy बन जाएगी बेटा. इतने narcissistic नहीं होते. हमारे बड़े हमेशा सर पे रहें. That is the best thing. And you guys will actually understand this when you grow up a little bit more. Inshallah, inshallah. खैर, anyway, moving on. Back to topic. फिर आ जाते हैं हमारे पास purpose. लिख क्यों रहे हो भाई? What is the point of writing this, right? So what must happen in the reader's mind? Are you talking about a certain something that should be persuasive? Is there a CTA, a call to action? Are you going to persuade the reader? Do you want them to be persuaded? Do you want them to be educated? Or do you simply want them to be informed? So again, this fixes the structure as well. This will define discursive, argumentative, or persuasive for you. So persuading needs a call to action, literally just what I told you. And discussing needs balance than judgment. That is discursive beta. Whoever is unmute, please mute yourself beta. Whoever it is, Sarosh hai. Sarosh beta, please mute yourself. Acha. And then lastly, we have the tone, bachcho. The tone is pretty simple. How should I sound? Dekho, if let's suppose I'm writing I'm writing a letter of complaint or an email of complaint, let's suppose, to a hotel manager perhaps, where let's suppose I'm writing as the mother of a couple who went ahead and had their wedding at that particular hotel, and the way the things were decided with the hotel, it did not work out that way. Maybe the parking space wasn't enough for the guests, or the food came out cold, or maybe even the chairs were a few less as they were supposed to be, so on and so forth. So I'm writing a letter of complaint to the hotel manager, right? Now, in this case, I still, academically speaking, formally speaking, I still cannot be rude. However, I can be assertive. I can be firm. And yes, I have to make sure that whatever I'm talking about, that is adhered to. But no, it cannot be casual, Zara. It will be strictly formal, because you're writing to someone in a professional capacity. So you will be using all the language rules for formal way of writing. Okay, beta? कल मैंने ना अपने पेज पे एक वीडियो बना के डाली थी. It was a very interesting video. I'm not sure if you guys actually saw it on my Instagram. It was about using Gen Z slang. Words like cooked, slay, tea, vibe, sas, riz, blah, blah, blah. You all are more familiar than I am. A point मेरा ये नहीं था कि we cannot use these words. We actually can use these words in informal writing. But the idea is कि who knows 50 years down the line, they actually can be a part of the Cambridge or the Oxford Dictionary, standard English, just as some of the words that we use today are. क्योंकि language evolves with time, every language. And the more speakers a certain word gets, I accidentally wrote you instead of you while writing. हाँ वो गलत है. वो आपका completely social media slang है. वो language है ही नहीं अब्दुल्ला. देखो उसका कोई मतलब नहीं है ना. वो slang भी नहीं है. वो पता नहीं वो short form है in your own way of writing. तो Roman English इसको आप एक तरह से कहते हो in a manner. I think so. So that doesn't count. But yes, ये जो Gen Z slang है, because it's being used by an entire generation, not just you guys, literally around the world. So probably it actually can make it to standard English dictionaries 50 years down the line maybe. Who knows? My point is, This is exactly where we need to understand, or we need to have a solid understanding of the difference between formal and informal writing. फॉर्मल का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि मैंने स्ट्रिक्टली बात करनी और कैजुअल लैंग्वेज नहीं यूज करनी, और इनफॉर्मल का मतलब ये नहीं होता कि मैंने कैजुअल ही लैंग्वेज यूज करनी है. मतलब डिफाइन कैजुअल. व्हाट कम्स टू योर माइंड व्हेन आई से कैजुअल? व्हाट आर यू थिंकिंग? राइट? तो ये रूल्स हमने समझने मेरा बेटा. अच्छा, then we have, like I've just has, this is a model extract. This will basically define it for you guys in terms of a model paragraph, how we're supposed to go about this. So your school is considering closing the library at lunchtime, so the room can be used for meetings. Write an article for your audience, for your school magazine, in which you consider the arguments on both sides and give your own view. In your article, you should explain why some staff support the change, evaluate the effect on students who rely on the library. Do you guys see this? हमारा जो generally second bullet point होता है, that also asks you to give your own opinions as well. Do we understand, बच्चों? Do we understand what we stand by with fact? Sorry, beta, who made it though the slang? Aisha? Gen Z collectively came up with it, beta. That's how it happens. It's always been like that. Acha. So far, are we good, bachcho? Did we understand this? Easy peasy? Chalo, alright. Let's move on. So the annotation basically yields 4 decisions before any reading begins. Form. Article, so a headline and paragraphs. अच्छा, जब हम इसको in detail पढ़ेंगे, तो you guys will understand कि what exactly needs to go in terms of the each forms and what kind of format is important and what is simply irrelevant. All right, we'll get to this as well. Audience. Students and staff who use the school, obviously. So semi-formal and specific to school life. Purpose, discursive with a judgment at the end. You will be discussing both sides. Literally, it tells you this. Consider this argument on both sides and give your view. Discursive का तो main मतलब ही यही होता है कि आप दोनों तरफ की चीज को consider करोगे. For example, advantages and disadvantages, and then you will give your own opinion कि what do you think is the better way to go about this. For example, let's suppose मैं बड़ा एक controversial सा topic पे बात करती हूँ जो आजकल चल रहा है, हमारा इजराइल एंड पैलेस्टाइन इशू. तो इजराइलियों की जो व्हाट डू यू कॉल इट, द एजेंडा इज और देयर माइंडसेट इज कि जी जुडेया वाज प्रॉमिस्ड टू अस 3000 years ago, right? This was the land of Judea. This is where Moses came. This is where Abraham came before Moses, और मूसा अलैहि सलाम और इब्राहिम अलैहि सलाम. और जी ये promised land है because this was the land that Musa अलैहि सलाम brought us to when he took us out of Egypt, right? तो उनका argument ये है कि 3000 साल पहले it was promised to us in the Torah, in the Psalms, right? तौरात और ज़बूर में. तो ये हमेशा हमारा रहेगा. Even though we were Islamically speaking, we understand कि they were expelled from there, right? But उनका argument ये है कि ये हमारा ancestral land है, तो हम जब कभी भी जाना चाहें, we can go back to it and we are the claimants of the land. Whereas Palestinian issue is pretty simple कि they settled there thousands of years back after the Jews left mainly, और ये Palestinian territory बन गई थी. और फिर all 3 religions came together. Jerusalem, जिसको हम Islamically Al-Quds कहते हैं, it is home to all 3 Abrahamic religions, Christianity, Islam and Judaism. तो let's suppose अगर मैं एक बहुत neutral mindset से भी ये चीज़ देखूँ ना, तो मुझे समझ आते हैं, ठीक है, they were in the land of Judea, ये इनका लैंड था बहुत 3000 साल पहले, but then they were expelled from this land. इसके बाद जो है वो Palestinians they settled there और ये उनका ethnic land बन गया. They became indigenous to this land. Thousands of years से Palestinian Jews, Christians and Muslims had been living together, right? यहाँ पे Dome of the Rock भी है, यहाँ पे Jewish relics भी हैं. Judaism, Palestine also houses Bethlehem, that is the birthplace of Jesus Christ, ईसा अलैहि सलाम. तो ठीक है, तीनों religions के लिए बहुत important है. तो मैं अपने दोनों arguments को side by side लेके चल रही हूँ, ठीक है? मैंने इजरायली बात भी सुन ली, मैंने पैलेस्टीनियन बात भी सुन ली, बट फिर मैंने अपना ओपिनियन बताया कि नहीं, they were expelled technically speaking and Palestinians had been living on this land for centuries before the Israelites came, before the Jews returned back after World War II. जब जर्मनी से इनको निकाला गया आफ्टर द हॉलोकास्ट, नो वन गेव देम रेफ्यूज, राइट? And when they came to Palestine, on the land of Palestine, Palestinians were the only ones who gave them refuge. तो ये refugees बनकर आए और थोड़े अरसे के बाद इन्होंने उनको उनके घरों से निकाल के ताले लगा दिए, and they took over their houses claiming कि we are Jews and this land is ours. तो मैं न्यूट्रल होके अगर अपना ओपिनियन दूं तो मैं कहूंगी नो, आई टेक द साइड ऑफ द पैलेस्टीनियंस बिकॉज दे आर इंडिजिनस टू द लैंड. The Jews were wrong in this capacity. They took over Palestinian houses and lands. They turned it into an apartheid state of Israel, and there's a genocide going on right now. Do we understand how we go about it in terms of discursive writing? समझ आया कुछ कि सब कुछ ऊपर से गुजर गया? I hope I was able to make sense. So discursive means you discuss both side of, yes, absolutely Hassan, but it's like saying कि देखो जैसे हमने अफगानियों को भी रेफ्यूज दिया, पाकिस्तानियों ने, Afghanis did not take over our country, right? The Palestinians did this out of the kindness of their heart when the Jews had gone through one of the worst genocides in history, the Holocaust. But वो चीज तो इन्होंने उसका फायदा उठाया ना. So the more you read about this, the more you learn about this, you understand from the Jewish mindset as well that they are doing wrong. The actual Jews know that they cannot return back to the land of Judea, and they definitely cannot, take down the Al-Aqsa Mosque and create the third temple. Ma'am, how do you know when to use discuss it? Beta, the question statement will tell you, Abdullah. अब देखो जैसे यहाँ पे statement is literally telling you consider the argument on both sides and give your view. This is exactly why जो मैंने सबसे पहली बात आपको बताई थी वो ये थी, understand your task before you read the passages. Are we understanding बच्चों? Do we now understand? Discursive की समझ आ गई है फिर से? जो उन बच्चों को एटलीस्ट जो उस क्लास में नहीं थे जिसमें हमने ये सारा कुछ डिस्कस किया था. Abdullah, what about you? Are we good so far? Okay. Moving on then. So next up, as you guys can see, we have purpose, discursive with a judgment at the end. It's like explaining two views. Absolutely, Zara. You will go with both. But ma'am, how they let Jews occupy? Beta, you have no idea. It was the British mandate. ये बड़ी in-depth चीज है. If you guys take GP particularly, तो GP में शायद discuss किया. But yes, look up on it, Hasnan, and we can have a discussion on this anytime when we actually get a bit of time. That is, I'm not rushing through. ये बड़ी एक in-depth चीज है. देखो, it has a lot to do with the colonization itself. It was a British mandate, and that led to, and because the Palestinians were never that strong in their entirety and in terms of their army and stuff like that, so obviously it became that way then. GP, Aisha, global perspectives, beta. GP is also an O-level subject. A lot of students actually opt for it. Schools teach it as a compulsory subject as well. Acha, GP mein you learn about world issues, beta. GP is quite fun. It's very fun actually. Acha, I'm moving on. Then beta we have the tone. Ab tone is interested and fair, since one group of readers will disagree with you. So you keep it light as well, ठीक है? You have to make sure that you are looking at both sides neutrally. वही वाली बात अगर मैं simply कह लूँ कि दो बच्चों की लड़ाई होती है, वो मुझे आके बताते हैं, मैं पहले दोनों की बात सुनूंगी, and then I will make a sound judgment कि किसने actually में गलती की थी. Okay? That's discursive. The two bullets then become the backbone of the plan, and a response that covers only the second bullet cannot. ये तो आपका simple point है in terms of tackling the question कि बेटा अगर आपने किसी भी एक bullet point को छोड़ दिया और किसी एक को सिर्फ tackle किया, या किसी एक को आपने let's suppose 70% time दे दिया, बाकी को आपने 30% time दिया, तो obviously you will not be getting balanced marks as well. Make sure you balance it all out. अब मैं छोटा सा overview फिर से दे रही हूँ discursive, persuasive और argumentative का. तो particularly Zahra and Abdullah, प्लीज बेटा बी वेरी फोकस्ड. ओके, देखो ये हमारे 3 ways of writing होते हैं. Discursive is what I've just told you. The main purpose of discursive is to explore an issue basically. ये balanced और exploratory approach होती है किसी भी चीज को लेकर, कि किसी भी चीज के pros and cons क्या होते हैं, and then you make a sound judgment on it, right? और फिर आप अदर व्यू पॉइंट पे निकलते हो, बट यू आर वेरी फेयर अबाउट इट. हाउ मेनी पॉइंट्स आर वी सपोज टू राइट इन ईच बुलेट पॉइंट? अच्छा, विल कम टू दिस लेटर जूना. ये एक पूरा मेन पॉइंट है, सो विल डिस्कस दिस. ओके बेटा, इसके ऊपर हम बात करेंगे इन डिटेल. अच्छा, टोन कैसी होनी चाहिए? टोन भी आपकी बैलेंस्ड, न्यूट्रल, अनबायस्ड होनी चाहिए. डिस्कसिव में थॉटफुल होनी चाहिए कि आप किसी भी साइड को हर्ट ना करो, ठीक है? एंड यू आर बैलेंस्ड एंड यू आर न्यूट्रल अबाउट बोथ साइड्स. इट शुड बी मेजर्ड with proper argument, with proper quotations, with proper proof if need be. राइटर्स की जो पोजीशन होती है कि राइटर किस पॉइंट पे स्टैंड कर रहा है, वो बिल्कुल हम एंड पे डिसाइड करते हैं, अपना ओपिनियन देते हैं. सो द मेन अपील ऑफ द डिस्कर्सिव राइटिंग इज अबाउट डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव्स. आर वी अंडरस्टूड अबाउट डिस्कर्सिव राइटिंग सो फार? ये समझ आ गया? Can we rage bait? No, we cannot rage bait, Hasnan. If you end up rage baiting the examiner, you will lose marks, okay? अच्छा, चलो. All right, let's take a look at persuasive. देखो, persuasive is pretty simple. नहीं, पहले हम argumentative की बात करते हैं. Argumentative में ये होता है कि आप एक पोजीशन को प्रूव करते हो थ्रू प्रॉपर रीजनिंग. इसका मेन पर्पस ये होता है. अप्रोच क्या होती है? यू टेक अ क्लियर पोजीशन. आप शुरू में आप पता लग जाता है राइटिंग पीस के थ्रू कि आप किस चीज के फेवर में हो, बट आप स्टिल दूसरे पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू के ऊपर भी बात करते हो. ऑपोजिशन जो भी होता है उसके ऊपर भी आप बात करते हो. बेशक आप ये बताते हो कि जी वाई ऑपोजिशन इज नॉट गुड. डू वी अंडरस्टैंड? फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं कहूं कि जी आई एम ऑल फॉर राइटिंग ईमेल्स, लेटर्स आर रिडंडेंट नाउ, तो मैं शुरू से ही आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव होंगी एंड माई स्टांस विल बी क्लियर कि आई एम स्पीकिंग इन द फेवर ऑफ ईमेल्स, बट आई विल डेफिनेटली कीप टॉकिंग अबाउट लेटर राइटिंग एज वेल, बट मे बी नॉट इन अ पॉजिटिव लाइट. डू वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट? Other viewpoint, Ji Zahra, please go on, beta.
For the argumentative, we only have to write one pros and one cons. Means
No.
like if we are favoring with the one side, we will only mention the favor, not the cons.
No. हाँ, उस चीज के कॉन्स नहीं, उस चीज के कॉन्स नहीं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल ईमेल के नहीं, बिकॉज यू आर टेकिंग दैट स्टैंस ना, यू आर स्पीकिंग इन दैट फेवर, राइट Zahra? Do you understand?
Yes, and for the discursive, you have to mention the both views.
Yes, exactly. अच्छा, उसमें ये नहीं होता कि देखो, उसमें जब आपको पैसेजेस दिए गए होते हैं ना, सो आप एक ही चीज के ऊपर बात कर पाते हो, किसी भी चीज की, या तो उसके नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट पे या उसके पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट पे. ओके, वो डिपेंड करता है आपकी स्टेटमेंट पे. सो वी विल टैकल स्टेटमेंट्स एज वेल, सो दिस विल बी डेफिनेटली क्लियरर देन. ओके, अच्छा, ओके बेटा. अच्छा, अब अदर व्यू पॉइंट का क्या होता है आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव में? अदर व्यू पॉइंट इज जनरली जस्ट अ रिबटल पॉइंट, कि मैं सिर्फ रिफ्यूट करूंगी लेटर राइटिंग को, मैं उसके फेवर में बात नहीं करूंगी, कि मेरा पूरा पॉइंट ही यही है, मैं आर्ग्यू ही ये कर रही हूं कि ईमेल राइटिंग इज बेटर. तो मैं लेटर राइटिंग को किसी भी पॉजिटिव लाइट में शो नहीं करूंगी. ओके मैम, आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव राइटिंग इज मोस्टली यूज्ड इन टेक्स्ट ए एंड टेक्स्ट बी क्वेश्चंस. बेटा, ये जो आपका डायरेक्टेड राइटिंग होता है, उन दोनों में टेक्स्ट ए टेक्स्ट बी होता है. For whatever directed writing task you will get, Abdullah, there will be a text A and there will be a text B. Okay? एक टेक्स्ट फेवर में होगा टॉपिक के, एक टेक्स्ट अगेंस्ट होगा. ओके, अच्छा, फिर आ जाता है आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव में टोन आपकी कैसी होनी चाहिए. टोन आपकी अगेन असर्टिव होनी चाहिए. असर्टिव का मतलब रूड होना नहीं होता बच्चों, बदतमीजी नहीं करनी पेपर पे. यू आर राइटिंग फॉर्मली, दिस इज एकेडमिक राइटिंग, ठीक है? You can be assertive, you can be logical, and you have to talk evidence-based argument. You have to create an evidence-based argument. कि देखो, मैं अपने से ये बात नहीं कर रही. Let's suppose मैं कहूँ कि मतलब मेरे घर में ये बड़ा एक पॉइंट चलता है on diet coke basically, and I'm more about diet coke than regular coke now. So my mother would always tell me कि diet coke भी बहुत बुरी है. But then I have been doing a little research on it. So I have come across points, actual science-backed evidence that diet coke does not harm you the way regular coke does, right? It does not spike your blood sugar. It does not give you cancer. And it's safe to take maybe 1, 2, 3 cans a day as well, if obviously you want to. Not obviously would recommend personally, but yes. तो ये एक, मैं गुस्से करने से कुछ नहीं होगा, राइट? वो जैसे जो अम्मियाँ नहीं कहती, हाँ सर में दर्द हो रहा और मोबाइल लेके बैठे रहो, टांग में दर्द हो रहा और मोबाइल लेके बैठे रहो. तो समझ तो उनको नहीं आ रहा कि भाई मोबाइल से उसका कोई ताल्लुक वास्ता नहीं है. तो देन वी कैनॉट बी रूड विद देम, राइट? एग्जैक्टली. उसमें रूड होने का फायदा नहीं है क्योंकि वो उनको समझ नहीं आएगी, राइट? टांग में दर्द हो रहा तो यार चले ज्यादा होंगे या कोई कैल्शियम की कमी होगी, उसमें मोबाइल का तो कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है ना. दांत में दर्द हो रहा तो मोबाइल का क्या ताल्लुक है? कोई काम नहीं हुआ तो मोबाइल लेके बैठे रहो, राइट? तो हमने वो नहीं करना, हमने रूड नहीं होना, हमने असर्टिव होके वी हैव टू गिव लॉजिक. 3 cans of regular coke per day. Well then you are quite lucky, Abdullah, at this point. 3 to 5 cans of regular coke did not mean anything to me when I was a teenager as well. But अब तो बेटा 3 अगर मैं पी लूँ ना तो my weight would go up to an 80 then. So इसमें इतना शुगर होता है कि it's literally 75% sugar. Regular coke, by the way. So yes, it's always better to just take diet, but in a reasonable quantity, by the way. तो ये ना करना कि आपके अम्मी अब्बू मेरा सर फाड़ दें आके, so कि मैंने बच्चों को कहा था कि डाइट कोक पी लो. So जी, are we good? Did we understand the tone? All right? Are we good so far? चलो जी, फिर आ जाते हैं राइटर की पोजीशन. राइटर किधर स्टैंड करता है? राइटर का एक क्लियर थीसिस और आई 2 large pizzas with a diet coke. वाह, बिल्कुल हसनैन, हाँ अभी तो बिल्कुल ठीक है, 10 साल बाद देखेंगे. अभी पियो, खुल के पियो भी, खुल के खाओ भी, अभी टाइम है, खा लो अभी. All right, moving on. So the writer's position in terms of argumentative writing, it has to be very clear. शुरू से ही as the reader we need to be able to understand कि argumentative stance clear है कि नहीं, clear thesis statement, clear guiding point है कि नहीं है. And that will define it for the reader as well, that I have taken a certain stance and I'm standing by it and I'm trying to persuade you on it by giving a very logical argument in favor of a certain something. Does that make sense? Do we understand? And lastly, what is the main appeal of argumentative writing? The main appeal is simple. आपके अपने silly points देने से कुछ नहीं होगा. Number one, you have to make sure that your information is building from the passage. जो भी आप develop कर रहे हो argument, that is coming from the passages given A and B. Number one. Number two, actual evidence should be given from the passages so that the reader understands that you are not writing things on your own. Do we understand, bachcho? Are we understood on that? What was what? How to write? We'll discuss that, Zahra. We will discuss thesis statement. Number one is that you have to make sure that you're developing points from text A and text B. The passage is given beta. Okay, Abdullah? अपने से कोई बात नहीं लिखनी. जैसे मुझे याद है कि जब ये सिलेबस चेंज आया था 24 का ना, तो उसमें एक स्पेसिमेन पेपर जो कैम्ब्रिज ने हमें दिया था, पेपर 2, उस पर ट्रैवलिंग का टॉपिक था, जो मैं बार बार इसकी एग्जांपल देती हूँ. उस टॉपिक में ना एक पैसेज था एक टीनेजर के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से और दूसरा था एक मिडिल एज पर्सन के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से. टीनेजर वाज ऑफ द व्यू कि इफ यू हैव द टाइम एंड द मनी you should travel abroad internationally, whereas the middle aged person was of the view कि जी नहीं, travel within your own country and the money you are going to spend abroad, like dedicate that money to something else, right? पॉइंट ट्रैवलिंग का था. एक का मानना यह था कि जी ट्रैवल अब्रॉड करना चाहिए, दूसरा का था कि सिर्फ अपनी कंट्री में रहो, राइट? सो इन दिस केस पॉइंट नीड्स टू बी डेवलप्ड फ्रॉम दीज पैसेजेस. मुझे याद है कि मेरे कुछ स्टूडेंट्स ने ऐसे ऐसे पॉइंट्स लिखे हुए थे जिसका पैसेजेस से कोई ताल्लुक नहीं था, ना ए से ना बी से. Your develop, yes, exactly, Vanya. Yes, I did this with the other section in school as well. So I remember this. We did this. Yes, you're right. तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अब मुझे उस कि देखो, लेट्स सपोज अगर मेरे पैसेजेस में ये पॉइंट मेंशनड ही नहीं है कि मिडिल एज पर्सन ये कह रहे हैं कि यू शुड ट्रैवल इंटरनेशनली आफ्टर 30. कुछ बच्चों ने ऐसे लिखा हुआ था, बट ये पॉइंट तो कहीं मेंशनड ही नहीं है. वो मिडिल एज बंदा सिर्फ ये कह रहा है कि जी ट्रैवल करो ही मत इन योर टीन्स एंड इंटरनेशनली खास तौर पे, एंड सेव अप दैट मनी फॉर समथिंग मोर इम्पॉर्टेंट. सो डोंट डेवलप दोज पॉइंट्स जिनकी बेसिस बिल्कुल भी पैसेज में से नहीं है. डज दैट मेक सेंस? इजी पीजी? डू यू गाइस अंडरस्टैंड? चलो अच्छा, अब फिर आ जाते हैं हमारे पास लास्टली परसुएसिव. बच्चों को सबसे मुश्किल लगता है, प्लीज गौर से सुनना ऑल ऑफ यू. ओके, सबसे मेन पर्पस होता है यू हैव टू कन्विंस द रीडर. आर या पार मेरी बात ठीक है, बाकी सब बकवास कर रहे हैं. Do you guys understand? Literal teenager core in this capacity. जो मैं कह रहा हूं मैं ठीक कह रहा हूं, बाकी सारे वैसे ही बोल रहे हैं. ये जनरली स्पीचेस में फॉलो होता है परसुएसिव राइटिंग, जो मैंने पहले ही बताया था. आई थिंक अब्दुल्ला एंड ज़हरा वर नॉट इन क्लास. we saw Martin Luther King Jr.'s I have a dream वाली स्पीच एज वेल. स्पीचेस जो भी होती हैं ना वो परसुएसिव होती हैं बेटा. जैसे अभी मुझसे किसने पूछा था कि मैं समय कैसे पता चलेगा कि ये डिस्कर्सिव है, आर्ग्यूमेंटेटिव है, कि परसुएसिव है या डिस्कर्सिव है? किसने पूछा था? किसी बच्चे ने पूछा था अभी यहाँ पे. तो आपको बताना मैं ये चाह रही हूँ कि स्पीचेस आर जनरली परसुएसिव. उसमें कॉल टू एक्शन होती है. आप जैसे हमारे पॉलिटिशियन स्पीचेस देते हैं, वो अपनी ही कैंडिडेसी या अपनी ही पार्टी की सपोर्ट में स्पीचेस देते हैं ना. पीटीआई वाला खड़े होकर नून लीग के लिए तो नहीं स्पीच देगा, या नून लीग की तो तारीफें नहीं करेगा ना. वो यही कहेगा देखो मैं ही सब कुछ हूं आपके लिए. जैसे मुझे भुट्टो की स्पीच याद है. अभी यू गाइस विल बी वेरी 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 सरप्राइज टू नो दिस मे बी, कि जो शलवार कमीज मर्द पहनते हैं ना, आदमी, मैन, लड़के, बच्चे, शलवार कमीज वॉज अ वेरी पेजेंट पीस ऑफ क्लोथिंग एक्चुअली. जब पाकिस्तान बना था ना तो ये समझा जाता था कि बिल्कुल गरीबों का ड्रेस है. हमारे पाकिस्तान के इलीट्स या थोड़े से भी रिच लोग जो थे वो शेरवानी पहनते थे या सूट्स वगैरह पहना करते थे 1960s के एंड तक लेके. तो ये शलवार कमीज इतना कॉमन कैसे हुआ? भुट्टो ने, जुल्फिकार अली भुट्टो ने अपनी फेमस रोटी कपड़ा मकान वाली स्पीच दी शलवार कमीज पहन के, और तब से शलवार कमीज हमारा एक नेशनल लिबास बन गया फॉर मेन एज वेल. कि बड़े बड़े हमारे डिजाइनर्स हैं, HS5, फलाना ढिमाका सारे, एंड दे आर मेकिंग शलवार कमीज फॉर मेन एज वेल. उनकी रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन ड्रामाज, इन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया है, सेलिब्रिटीज पहन रहे हैं, सो ऑन. फिर उसके बाद इमरान खान मेड इट फेमस एज वेल व्हेन ही केम टू विजिट पाकिस्तान विद जमाइमा एंड प्रिंसेस डायना. Then he also came wearing shalwar kameez. उसकी बड़ी famous picture है एक शलवार कमीज में. I'll send it to you guys after the class. तो you guys understand? तो जब ये भुट्टो साहब ने ये स्पीच दी ना रोटी कपड़ा मकान वाली, रोटी कपड़ा मकान का मतलब था कि ये एक पाकिस्तानी की नेसेसिटी है. इसके बगैर एक इंसान नहीं रह सकता. रोटी के बगैर, कपड़े के बगैर और मकान छत के बगैर. तो उनका ये मैनिफेस्टो था PPP का. समझ रहे हो बेटा, ऑल ऑफ यू? तो स्पीचेस आर मोर, यस एग्जैक्टली. So not a country's education success, but a piece of cloth. But देखो, piece of cloth is a basic right. We come across so many homeless people हसनैन, जो बिल्कुल फटे हुए कपड़े बेटा पहन के लेटे होते हैं. वो भी नहीं होता. I have seen so many बच्चे on the roads जिन्होंने शर्ट्स भी नहीं पहनी होती और कोई भी नीचे भी नहीं कुछ भी पहना हुआ होता. बच्चे भी, बच्चियां भी. Education is a basic right as well. But देखो, we have to think about it from a 1970s perspective. हम सब ने पाकिस्तान स्टडीज पढ़ी है टू सम एक्सटेंट. जब पाकिस्तान बना था ना तो इतनी गुर्बत थी कि एजुकेशन के ऊपर तो काम इवेंचुअली और ग्रेजुअली हुआ. लोगों के पास खाने को नहीं था, पहनने को नहीं था, और सर पे कुछ नहीं था, छत नहीं थी. तो पहले तो हम उनको देखो, जब हम अपने एंसेस्टर्स की बात करते हैं ना, वी गो बैक टू द टाइम ऑफ द एंशिएंट ह्यूमंस, तो उन्होंने भी तो यही किया. पढ़ाई लिखाई, लैंग्वेजेस बाद में आई. उन्होंने पहले अपना पेट पाला, अनाज उगाया, छोटे छोटे घर बनाए, जो विलेजेस बने, टाउन्स बने, सिटीज बने, सिविलाइजेशन ग्रू. ऐसा ही है ना. तो रोटी कपड़ा मकान, ये सिंगापुर, सिंगापुर तो बेटा सिंगापुर को और क्या आप कंपेयर, यहाँ पे तो कंपैरिजन ही नहीं बनता हसनैन. आप सिंगापुर छोड़ दो. श्रीलंका वेंट बैंकरप्ट 3 years बैक, कंप्लीटली बैंकरप्ट हो गया था. बिकॉज आई हैव अ लॉट ऑफ श्रीलंकन स्टूडेंट्स. तो मुझे याद है कि मेरा एक स्टूडेंट हुआ करता था श्रीलंका का. ही स्टॉप्ड क्लासेस क्योंकि ही कुड नॉट अफोर्ड देम. उनके पास पेट्रोल नहीं था, उनके पास खाना नहीं था. ये 3 साल पुरानी बात है, 2022 की शायद. दे लिटरली वेंट बैंकरप्ट. नाउ फास्ट फॉरवर्ड, May June of 2025 I went to Sri Lanka, and by God I cannot tell you, they have advanced so much in 2 years that Pakistan possibly could not have even done this in 100 years अगर वो bankrupt हो जाता. They all wake up at 5 in the morning और 7 बजे they conserve electricity, और लाइटें शाइटें सब बंद, अपने अपने घरों में खाना खा रहे. कोई होटलिंग नहीं हो रही स्टूपिड की, कोई कुछ नहीं घूम रहा. मतलब in all the restaurants that I went to, I only came across tourists, no locals. हमारे तो लोकल से खाना ऐसे बाहर खा रहे होते हैं जैसे पता नहीं लाखों करोड़ों में कमा रहा है हर कोई। तो बेटा पाकिस्तान में और बड़े मसले हैं हसनैन, वो हमारी आवाम भी उसमें कम नहीं है। पहले तो आवाम सही होगी तो फिर हम जाके कहीं हुक्मरानों को मजीद बोले। बाकी द न्यू रूल अबाउट शॉप्स, हाँ वो तो है आयशा, IMF का, हाँ बहुत चीज़ें, देखो इतनी चीज़ें कि अगर हम बातें करने बैठ जाएं तो शायद रात हो जाए, बातें खत्म ना हो इस पे। दैट्स अ वेरी गुड रूल, यस आयशा यू आर राइट अबाउट दैट, वेरी गुड। क्योंकि पता है क्या, मुझे गुस्सा भी चढ़ा श्रीलंका में कि यार ये क्या बात हो, कोई नाइट लाइफ ही नहीं है, कोई बाहर बंदा घूमे, कोई रेस्टोरेंट्स खुले हों, बट नहीं, दे वर वेरी पर्टिकुलर अबाउट दिस कि लाइट, स्ट्रीट लाइट्स भी नहीं चलती इतनी जगहों पे बाय 7 o'clock, everything would be shut down completely and only a few restaurants would be open. We couldn't even order food in, कुछ भी खाना है लेना है, only grocery stores would be open, that would be it. Anyway, जी बेटा, whoever's turned the mic on, do you guys have anything to say? अच्छा चलो moving on then. हाँ जी, तो मैं persuasive का बता रही थी कि this is mainly about speeches. You have to convince the reader. Approach is simple, एक ही strong one sided argument होता है. Other viewpoints, yes, आप थोड़ा सा उनको discuss, जैसे again मैं on record बोल रही हूँ, but just take the hint guys कि जब भी हम अपने politicians को सुनते हैं तो they will always diss the other main politician. ऐसा ही होता है ना speeches में. They never talk about them in a good light. So that's what persuasive writing is mainly about. Tone is कि आप बहुत पैशनेट होते हो, बहुत इंगेजिंग होते हो, बहुत जज्बाती हो जाते हो, क्योंकि आपने अगले को के इमोशंस को जगाना है. एंड द राइटर्स पोजीशन इज वेरी क्लियर फ्रॉम द वेरी बिगिनिंग, हमें समझ आ जाती है कि वो क्या बात करना चाह रहा है. मेन अपील इज सिंपल एज वेल, यू आर गोइंग टू reach out at emotions. There's going to be rhetoric, but there will be slightly reasoning as well. G, do we now understand the difference between discursive, argumentative and persuasive? Zahra, what about you beta? इधर तक समझ आ गया है? Every one of you, please. चलो. अच्छा, how command words change the work. जल्दी से ये देखते हैं, फिर I have a flashbacks वाली activity, flashcards वाली activity planned for you guys. अच्छा. Wording. Consider, evaluate, give your views, persuade and explain are some of the major command words that you come across in directed writing. Consider simply means to review the information given and respond to it. Both sides must appear and you must engage with them rather than list them. So automatically this is discursive, right? Then evaluate. Judge quality, importance or value. A point must be weighed for strength, practicality or reliability, not mainly or not merely reported. So at times this can be argumentative in nature. Yes. So far, are you following? Everyone is good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, you guys get stuck, please ask me, okay? अच्छा, फिर आ जाता है give my views. Sorry, give your views. Commit to a position and support it from the material. An answer that never says what you think has not met with the instruction. ये बेटा आपका ज़्यादातर second bullet point होता है, basically, ठीक है? This basically talks about where you take a clear position and support it through evidence and reasoning. So this is generally the second bullet point. Then you have persuade. Obviously goes without saying कि ये तो persuasion है. Yes, generally give your views when it comes to discursive बेटा. ये discursive में होता है. And persuasion obviously means where the aim is to convince the reader, right? आपका main point ये होता है कि आप reader को convince कर रहे हो. It's persuasive in nature. And explain is clarify reasons and relationships. इसमें भी generally speaking this can be discursive in nature. All right? Are we good to go? Easy peasy? चलो. अब selecting and using source material ये भी हम थोड़ा कल देखेंगे. Analysis, evaluation and हाँ ये बहुत important point है. So I don't want any one of you missing any class tomorrow or on Wednesday क्योंकि we have to complete directed writing. Planning and timing is very important as well. And then we will talk about model responses. Okay? ठीक हो गया? So let's start with a bit of hold on. Let's see what you guys remember. अच्छा पहले तो आप लोग ये देख लो जरा. Let me just put it on for you. I hope you guys can see my screen. This is the strategy that I was telling you about earlier, a FAPT that we discussed. FAPT is simple. It is about form, audience, purpose, and tone, right? And it tells you very clearly how you're supposed to go about the entire thing as an infographic, all right? So I will inshallah share this with you guys as well. So it will become easy for you to follow, okay? अच्छा अब ये देख लिया हमने. And now let's start with our flashcards, okay? Let me know when you guys can see my screen, okay? All fingers on the keyboard now. I want each and every one of you to answer quickly in the last 7 minutes, 8 minutes, however we are left with. In Cambridge O Levels English Language 1123, directed writing is found in section A of which paper? Quickly, jaldi jaldi mujhe batao, jaldi. P2, every one of you please be vigilant now and start typing it out. Very good, it's P2, well done. How many total marks are allocated to the directed writing task? Quickly, you should be able to answer the technical details. 25 marks are dedicated. Well done. Of the 25 marks for directed writing, how many are specifically for reading? Reading के कितने नंबर हैं बच्चों? सोचो और बताओ. I know you all know this. Okay, all right. I have only 3 answers, whereas I have around 7-8 kids in class. Okay. Come on, Baki bhi. Zara, you can also answer, beta. Khadija. जी, तो it is 10. अच्छा मैं छोटा सा एक टिप दे देती हूँ आप लोगों को that you need to remember कि देखो जो राइटिंग का पेपर है ना, जैसे पेपर 2 है ही राइटिंग, तो उसमें राइटिंग के मार्क्स ज़्यादा होते हैं, ठीक है? So in both cases, directed writing में भी और composition में भी रीडिंग के मार्क्स 10 है, रीडिंग के या कंटेंट के, ऑल राइट, और राइटिंग के 15 मार्क्स है आउट ऑफ द 25 गिवन, ओके? सो 10, all right. What is the recommended response length for the directed writing task? The word count, बच्चों, quickly. What's the word count for directed writing? Come on, all of you can do this. ये तो technical details हैं बच्चों. अभी तक तीनों गलत हैं. अब्दुल्ला कुछ हद तक ठीक है. तो बेटा 250 to 350, ठीक है? Directed writing is 250 to 350 words. Composition writing is 350 to 450 words. Do you now understand why we do this? Technical details अपने mind में रखनी है, okay? अच्छा, what are the 5 possible forms a directed writing response might take? मैं फिर से रिवाइज करवा रही हूँ, जल्दी जल्दी लिख के बताओ मुझे कौन सी 5 फॉर्म्स हैं? क्विकली एक ही उसमें लिख देते हैं. चलो बताओ. लेटर, ईमेल, आर्टिकल, स्पीच, एक रह गया. Zara, एक रह गया. Letter, article, speech, report, email. Well done, bingo, good job. All of you are right. Good. Speech, email, report, letter, or article. Excellent, well done. Name the 3 possible purposes signaled by the wording of a directed writing task. We just did this. Ways of writing. Okay. Persuasive, argumentative, persuasive, discursive. See, good to go. इसको फिर देख लो. 3 possible purposes signaled by the wording or the command words of a directed writing task. Good to go. So proud of you all. Which reading objective involves judging the quality, importance, or value of information in the text? Let's see if you guys can answer this. Judging the quality, importance, or value of information in the text. Evaluation. This is where you evaluate. Evaluate is something we'll come to later, inshallah. So you guys will be able to understand this better. In the context of directed writing, what does analysis mean in practice? What do you guys think? कोई भी छोटा मोटा mind में point आता है तो let me know. Whatever is in your mind. What do you think analysis means? Okay. Explain what it will lead to. Okay. देखो अब सिंपल सा पॉइंट समझो सारे मेरा. एनालिसिस का मतलब ये होता है यू ब्रेक डाउन द आइडियाज which are given to you in the text, in the source text, right? And you think critically about what they mean, how strong they are, and how they relate to the task. Good to go? So explaining what information reveals, why it matters, how it connects to other ideas. Make sense? Analysis means breaking apart what you know. Good to go? Okay. What does development mean when using source material? ये सारे चीजों के ऊपर हम बात करेंगे. अच्छा मैं बताती हूँ ज़ारा. Let's think about this first. We will discuss development as well. Okay. Make your point. ठीक है. Anyone else? So let's suppose, yes, exactly, Zuna, well done, excellent. And yes, Zahra, you as well, beta. Well done, good to go. देखो development का simple मतलब ये होता है you take a point, right, from the source and you extend it with your relevant reasoning. Let's suppose अब मेरे passage में point दिया हुआ है public transport is cheaper than traveling by car. अगर मैं इसको ऐसे as it is लिख देती हूँ I will get 0 marks. But अगर मैं लिखती हूँ कि public transport is considerably